What's up, guys? We're playing Daytona Netlink Edition. As you can see with the little image, that cover is in black and white, and the reason that is because this game was never in stores. You had to either dial Sega or go on their website or whatever, and you had to buy it from them directly. So I guess I didn't waste too much time making the cover look presentable. Let me just load up dial. Wait a second. Okay, wrong thing. Wait. Okay. I'm gonna tell my friend that I'm ready. Nope, no waiting. So yeah, this game, because of the fact that this game was never in stores, it's really rare and very expensive. I think it's the rarest and most expensive Sega Saturn game out of all of them. More expensive than Panzer Dragoon Saga. And this listing's been on for a long time on eBay for like the past few months. I mean, it's probably been on eBay even longer. But there's one listing for $17,000 for this game, and I'm pretty sure it goes for much less than that. I have no idea what its value is. It might be 1,000, it might be 2,000, it might be 3,000. He probably just, he has it out there. It's like advertising, like free advertising. He just kind of put it there so people can see it, and then they can just message him, and they can, talk and possibly, go through some other method of transaction instead of eBay. Because I'm sure when you're selling something that expensive, maybe you kind of don't want to go through eBay because eBay will take a huge cut. I sold lots of things on eBay before, but never something that was more. I think the most expensive thing I sold on eBay was like my Wii U. And I kind of regret selling it, but also kind of not. I remember when the Switch first got announced in like October of 2016, I think it was, and I sold my Wii U like a month later, and I got like 550 bucks for it. I got a lot of money, so all that money just went straight into the Switch. So let's check it out. So maybe you're watching this and you're wondering like, yo, why aren't you just playing Sega Rally? And to that, I gotta say, I agree with you that Sega Rally, I personally prefer it. But I mean, just look at this. Like, we get 5 tracks. Or was it 5 or was it 6? I already wasn't paying attention. But we get more tracks in this game, more cars. There's actually like a statistic screen over here. Which car did he pick? I'll just pick the same car as him. Okay. Daytona has some good things about it. Slow car boost. You know, I gotta be honest, I never played this game single player. This is my second time playing it online. And I mean, Daytona, man, the Daytona is also just the game that I remember more in the arcades. I was born in '92, so I was kind of like in the arcades during the death of arcades, but I do remember being like 4 or 5 years old, 6 years old, being in the arcades. We had arcades around my... We had Nathan's had its own arcade. Oh, wrong button. Okay. So yeah, we had a Nathan's, we had Chuck E. Cheese. And I was actually talking to some of my friends about this earlier this week. Chuck E. Cheese in the late 90s wasn't bad. Like, my first time ever seeing Primal Rage was at a Chuck E. Cheese. Did I just pass him? I think I did. I think he hit a wall. Okay. But yeah, man, once that Nathan's closed down in like 2003 or so. So that sucked. Because once that Nathan's closed down by me, all we had was Chuck E. Cheese, and you didn't really go to Chuck E. Cheese as a teen, you know what I mean? I don't even think they let you in as a teenager. Like, me and my friends used to ride our bicycles around town, and I think like we tried to go in once when we were like, we must have been like 14, and they wouldn't let us in because we had to have a parent with us. So that Nathan's, man, that was bad. I honestly, I didn't go to Chuck E. Cheese ever after that. I mean, I went to Chuck E. Cheese with where my parents would bring me and my brother. That was it. Because we could not go inside. And then I remember when I was in, I think it was 9th grade, so I must have been like 14 when I discovered Dave & Buster's. A friend like had like a little birthday get together there, and I remember thinking like, this is the coolest fucking thing I've ever. This is amazing. Dave & Buster's in 2000. That must have been 2006. Dave & Buster's 2006 wasn't so bad, but guess what? I went to Dave & Buster's like like a year ago. It's not the same, man. Dave & Buster's 2019. It's just a bunch of like iPhone games, if you can believe it. Wow, I cannot turn. I gotta. But yeah, man, all the I think the most classic game that my Dave & Buster's has is like House of the Dead 2. I'll give them credit because their guns are calibrated. But man, I still love House of the Dead 1. I still have a soft spot for House of the Dead 1. I have I don't have it. I burned it onto a disc. But House of the Dead 1 on the Sega Saturn, man. Not a bad game. Oh. Oh wow. What a nice recovery. Oh shit. Oh, it looks like he's having some trouble too. Oh wow, he's like really ahead of me now. That's crazy. How ahead of him? How far ahead he is. Something I found out recently, we're on the topic of arcades. Arcade 1UP, look it up. Arcade 1UP actually makes arcade cabinets for pretty cheap, like $500. And something that's really cool is they actually are selling NBA Jam, like the arcade cabinet with the seat and everything, $500. And guess what? They added online play to it. Like I think that's really cool. I mean, if you watch my channel, you know that I'm a big fan of retro games with online capabilities. I mean, look what I'm playing right now. But shit, man, I'm not a big NBA Jam fan. But holy shit, man, if they had like other games with like that I'd be interested in with online capability, I'd probably consider buying one of those things. One of the coolest things I've actually ever played back in the not back in the day, like maybe 2 years ago, was, you know, the deer hunting games, like in the arcades. I actually found one that had online play, and if you can believe that, yes, rematch. It was like the most modern version of deer hunting. I don't even know what the hell the name of it. I'm sure if I go on my phone, I'll have like an image of it because I remember like I was with like my girlfriend at the time at this bar in Texas. I live in New York, by the way, but my cousin had a wedding, and this bar we went to in Texas, which was probably like probably the coolest bar I've ever went to in my life. Also, I mean, I don't know if this is just a thing because it was in Texas, but it was like super like, you know, hillbilly and shit. And they had mad pool tables. They had like a spot where you could get like chicken tenders and fries and like all this like typical like basic food, I guess you could say. But then they had the bar section, And you know, we play a lot of pool and whatnot. But I remember like seeing the deer hunting game, and it was the most like newest version of it. And it not only did it have online, it had 4-player online, and you could see where each player was from. Like it would say it in the matchmaking, like this player Marriott Inn, this player some so and so bar. Like you could, and then under my name, it had the name of the bar that I was staying at. And I can, if I could just find the shot glass, because I did buy a shot glass at that bar, so I know exactly what bar I was staying at in Texas. But how cool is that, man? That you could see where everybody is playing from. That was just one of the coolest. And I remember like I was spending too much time there that like, you know, I was kind of like being antisocial. You know, we're at a big get together and I'm with like my girl and I'm kind of like by myself playing. I was being weird. I'll admit it, I was being weird, but I was just too amazed by the whole thing that I didn't really care. I must have spent like 20 bucks on that machine. That's something that 100% like I would have to. I'm a big fan of like any light gun game in general, and I always liked deer hunting. I would never do deer hunt in real life. I'm not about that life. But the game is so much fun, and I'm sure like that arcade cabinet will cost like $10,000. But if I ever got rich and I had like a game room, I would. If I had a game room and I was rich, I would have a pool table. 100% would have a pool table, and I would have a foosball table, and I'd have like a bar, and I would have that duck hunt game. Not duck hunt, deer hunting game. And I'd have the Wi-Fi, I'd have the internet all set up with it and everything. It had a lot of different like options too. I remember it had like a zombies mode, if you can believe it. Had a zombies mode. It had like all kinds of shit too. It wasn't just like, it really wasn't like as basic as the deer hunting game you're probably thinking of. There was a lot of different modes to play. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm bad at this game, but I gotta tell you right now, like this is a game that I'm telling you, I'm not gonna get better at this game. Like I just will always rather play Sega Rally. Sega Rally, the controls are just so much better. This kind of feels like a F1 racer in the sense that you can't. I mean, I guess you can drift. You can drift. Here, let me try to drift some more. But speaking of F1 racers, I don't know if you've played Monaco on the Dreamcast, but I gave that game a shot, and I was really like thought it'd be really fun because it's a racing game and it has 6 players, so it's cool. Because think about the amount of Dreamcast games that would just be so much fucking better if it had 6 players instead of just 4. Like Quake 3 Arena, for instance, like it's not meant to be just 4 players. So I play Monaco and I just don't like it. I'm sorry. Like I know that it's technically a good game for what it is. Like if you're into those kind of games, but I think you have to really be into F1 to like that game. Like if you're into just traditional racing, where you gotta like, where, you know, you're kind of just going fast and you gotta drift, you're not gonna like Monaco because it's not about drifting. It's about and going fast. It's actually about like speeding up and going slow. Like you pretty much have to speed up after every turn, and before every turn you have to slow down like crazy. I don't know. It just, to me, it's very boring. But if you like F1 racers, I hear Monaco is like a really faithful. It's like a good game. I mean, Daytona though, it's got good graphics. It's got good music. It's got It's got like more maps and more car control. It's got like everything is better than Sega Rally, except the controls. That's how I feel, though. That's how I feel. Yeah, your car takes damage and it gets all dented and shit. Yeah, it's really interesting. All right, we're neck and neck. This is usually how it goes, and I'm starting to think, Sega RPG fan, if you're watching this, I think I'm starting to catch on to. I think you're messing with me. Like I'm always like ahead for most of the race, and then you're like, okay, now I'm gonna like start beating them. Like you do this every time we race. Uh-oh, lag spike. He's activating his action replay codes. That's why it's lagging. Wow, this is actually a pretty intense lag spike. I hope we did not disconnect. Because I was kind of banking on testing out the chat function. I don't know if you can you can look into my Sega Saturn, but the keyboard adapter is plugged into the second controller port. For fuck's sake, we better not lag out. No, he's messaging me. Alright. Looks like it dropped. I don't know why that happened. But yeah, my Netlink my keyboard adapter is plugged in, and I got this keyboard. It's plugged in. It does a PS/2 connection, so if you have any old keyboard, it'll work. And I've probably said this in other videos. I don't think in any of my Sega Saturn videos, but I might have. This keyboard, big part of my childhood, huge part of my childhood. Okay, hold on a sec. Let me press wait. Let me show you how big of a part of my childhood that this keyboard plays. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a picture on my computer. Shouldn't be too hard to find. Maybe I won't find it, even though it really should be right where it should be here. Where is it? What? Oh, maybe here? Ah, here it is. Look at that photo. That's me. I'm probably 11 or 12 years old, and there's the keyboard. I was probably supposed to be practicing my violin, and this keyboard, we got it in 2003, and this was actually for the GameCube. We played Phantasy Star Online. It was my first time ever playing a video game over the internet on the console. And it was my second game playing online in general, because I played like Half-Life on the PC when I was a little kid, like really little. Like when I was like 7 or 8 years old playing Half-Life. Yeah, man, this keyboard, it's been around in my life for a long time. I still remember when we got this. We got this and the GameCube broadband adapter on the same day. I always wondered why the GameCube didn't have many online games. In fact, it only had one in America, and they had a second one called Homeland in Japan. But it's like the hardware is there. The broadband adapter exists. Like I remember, like my friend would have like all these PS2 games because I had GameCube. My friend had PS2, and I had like a certain Medal of Honor game on the GameCube, and he had the same game on the PS2, and the PS2 had an online mode, and I was so jealous. Like I'm still like bitter about it to this day. All right.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Here we go. Let's hope it doesn't lag out again. Why is that black bar on the top?
And they're underway.
Jesus. Jesus. Yeah, the controls, this is something you just gotta, like, I guess I gotta just play it more and get used to it and get good. Because I'm not, but, Jesus Christ, this is so stiff. Sega Rally just gets so many points for being, like, a good, it's just so good to control a car. Now I'm kind of thinking about Half-Life, since I was just talking about my first online game. I guess if you count like Team Fortress, like all the add-ons to Half-Life, like Team Fortress and Opposing Force and Counter-Strike, I guess technically PSO wasn't my second online game. It was just Half-Life and all the add-ons, all the modifications of it. I'm just gonna lump them into one category though. But we'll see if the chat function, when we can get to it, that this keyboard does have some problems. Because I do remember spilling soda on it when I was a kid, and it's sometimes like if I press a key, like it'll just like write like a bunch of them, like 10 of them. If I write G, it'll like stay on G and just write a bunch of that shit. The last time I used this keyboard was last year when I connected my GameCube online again, and I was playing Phantasy Star Online on a private server on ShitHack with my original memory card from when I was a little kid. And I have a whole story to tell about PSO. Like, I was thinking about making a separate video on Phantasy Star Online, just talking about my memories and all that, because I feel like I have a lot of memories with that game, especially because I was so young. And your imagination runs wild at that age. And like, I'm really grateful that I mean, I don't know, I can make a whole video on PSO. Like, I probably wouldn't even be like as much of a gamer if that game never existed. That's what got me interested in Sega. I bought a Sega Genesis because of PSO. You're probably wondering, like, what sense does that make? Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't. But I did. I remember like being on GameFAQs.com, which is still a popular website now. GameFAQs was a big thing back in 2003. And I remember looking up, I found out that there was Phantasy Star games on the Genesis, and that's kind of like what. And then I just started like researching the Genesis more, and I remember like, oh, I actually played the Genesis at a friend's house, like when I was even younger. And I just was like, I gotta get a Genesis. So in 2003, I actually bought a I was 11 years old on eBay, and I bought a. Actually, no, I was 10. I have a late birthday, so I was 10 years old on eBay in 2003, and I bought a Genesis, and that started it all. And then 7th grade, a year later, I got a PS1, and then I got it. 8th grade, I bought a Dreamcast and a Virtual Boy. 9th grade, I don't think I bought anything. Oh no, 9th grade I bought the Sega Saturn, actually. Oh my god, don't lag out again. There we go. 10th grade I bought the Genesis again, the second time, because I was an idiot. When I was in 6th grade, I played the Genesis and sold it after like 5 months because I think I was pressured by my parents. Like I was just young, and they're oh, you don't play this system. You bought it on the internet, and you don't even play it. So I would have played it. Like I'm not gonna play it all the time. Like I'll come back to it every like 6 months or so. It's how it is with every system I have. I won't play it for like years, and then I come back to it. Loser! Wow, double exclamation points. But yeah, I never made that mistake again. Never selling any console just because I haven't played it in a while. Because at that time we had the NES, we had the N64, we had the GameCube, all gifts from our parents. So the fact that I went out of my way to get this thing to my parents, it was just like a new concept. It was like this crazy thing. So let's not rematch. Let's try the chat. I'm really eager to try this. I'm so eager to try this chat function that, because like I said, I did the swap trick, and the swap trick, if you do the swap trick, you can't use the chat function, because right about here is when it resets something in the Saturn, or it re-authenticates. I think right now it kind of just fucked up. I don't think the chat, or is it gonna work? I don't know. But I know for a fact that the swap trick will not let you use the chat function. So I bought the mod chip, I pulled out this old soldering kit, I installed the mod chip, and I bought this just so I could use this keyboard adapter. Oh my god. Is it working? Wow. So it's like literally real time. He knows the struggle. He knows the struggle. Exactly, exactly. That's the thing. I was just mentioning that. You don't really want to practice that game. Yep. This might be the only Daytona video that I upload. I'm going to be honest. It's very possible because virtual on, though, I'm starting to appreciate. Got some twin sticks. Oh, wow. Yeah, those are like $100 or so, those twin sticks. I think they're like I think they're like normally go for around $100, give or take, like $10. Oh, new in box for 100. Wow, yeah, that's a good deal. Yeah, if it wasn't new, if you bought it used, it's like a fair price. But the fact that I think it's new in box, I think he did that's a good find. Let's try virtual on. So this is very unique in that we don't send messages. Like you just type, and it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. Like I just think this is so cool, man. I just like I can't like imagine being like doing this in like 1997 or 1998 even. Like it's just crazy to me. I love this shit. I fucking love this shit. All right. All right, guys. So this is it for Daytona. We're gonna play some virtual on. So check out that video. I'll upload it and check it out. So peace out.